Good morning! Good morning, everyone! Sana na maging okay ang morning at saka yung araw natin ngayon. Kasi medyo hindi maganda ang weather doon sa Luzon. Dito tayo sa Mindanao, pero nararamdaman pa din natin yung kakaibang weather. Hindi siya masyadong, hindi pa lumalabas si haring araw. So, ngayon, papatuloy natin yung magbabasa natin. Andito na tayo sa Optimum Health Part Chapter 2. So, inano ko siya ng parang Part 1 and Part 2. So, man, sila, na, Optimum Health, the basic aim of my lifestyle program is to arouse the physis of healing, the physis or healing power within the body and nurture it. It has been inspired by Hippocrates' regimen therapy, described in Part 1, and formulated to cover all aspects and maintenance of health and well-being. I have used the lifestyle program as a tool to combat and prevent illness and restore health in thousands of patients in the past 20 years or so. It might be described as a cure all, since whether the problem is hormonal, stress related, digestive, circulatory, muscular, or other, the method to treat and cure it remains the same. For those who hate taking medicines or believe in self help, this is an ideal program, as it works by helping the body's innate forces to regulate and enhance healing. But first, I advise you to embark on some self testing with an MOT, or my own testing. This will help you to assess your state of health and well being. Think about any problems or weaknesses you may have and how they might relate to your lifestyle. It may also help you view your state of health as being more than just not ill. Ayan, ganda na naman ang picture. Chapter 1, Giving Yourself an MOT. MOT, or my own testing, is designed to help you to get know your own body better. 7. Lili mo. Isa. 7. MOT, or my own testing, is designed to help you to get know your own body better by observing how it works when you're feeling good and not so good, how it reacts to different situations, pressures, and foods, and attuning yourself to its rhythms. You will be able to pick up the early warning signs that anything might be amiss and take steps to regain optimum health before things go seriously wrong. The overall picture: work through the following checklist to assess your general state of health. Then try following the lifestyle program and return to the MOT every 6 weeks or couple of months to see what improvements you have noticed. If you recognize any of the following in yourself, or if your answer to any of the question highlights a specific concern, follow the relevant recommendation in Part 3. If your condition does not improve within a month, then you must consult an appropriate qualified physician. Weight. In the chapter of weight control is a chart that explains how to work out your body mass index or BMI. As a guide to your optimum weight, the BMI is still only a guideline and doesn't take into account bones lightened by osteoporosis or distinguish fat from muscle. Muscle is heavier. It is, however, a useful starting point. At the same time, as you weight yourself, measure your waist. Keep a note of it so that you can whether your waist is steadily increasing, allowing for anything such as temporary abdominal bloating. Weight is not just a matter of measurements, it's how it affects your sense of well being and level of activity. You probably weigh too much if you have had to move up a dress size or your skirt and trousers have become tight round the waist. You get breathless walking up a flight of stairs. You get backache when exercising, standing around, or even just sitting. You often feel lethargic or sluggish, especially in the morning. Your groin just above the pubic bone feels very sore. Press it and check. If your BMI suggests you are underweight, check whether you have some or all of the following confirming indication. Your hands and feet your hands and feet feel cold very easily. You get frequent colds and cough. Immune system is weak. You lose hair very easily. You bruise easily and or your nails flake. Your appetite and your digestion are poor. Your joints and body ache. Weighing yourself too open isn't helpful. It can either be discouraging if you are trying to lose weight but it isn't coming off as quickly as you would like, or you can get obsessional about small gains or losses of 1 kilo or less. Every couple of months is enough unless you are worried by a sudden rise or drop in your size. Dramatic weight loss is not healthy, nor is a fluctuating weight, which is often the result of yo yo dieting. If your body doesn't know where the next meal is coming from, it will go into famine mode, storing even more fat and conserving energy, causing you to slow down in both body and mind. Eating and drinking habits. How many portions of fruits and vegetables do you eat every day? Do you eat meat at almost every meal, every day, once or twice a week, less often or never? How many times a week do you eat fish? The diet section of the lifestyle program has information on nutrients that are particular vital for women. Does your diet include of this in sufficient quantities? Do you always have breakfast? Is your main meal of the day at lunchtime or in the evening? Are you a habitual snacker? Do you quiet often, at least once a week on average, get up in the middle of the night for a snack? Do you drink about 1.5 to 2 liters of water a day? Do you drink more than the recommended amount of alcohol a week? See below. See box below. What, when, and how you eat and drink affects not only your weight, see chapter on weight control, but your general performance, including the alertness of your mind. The various chapter in part 3 also explain how adjusting your diet can help counteract particular problems. Digestion. Do you have a bowel movement every day? Your bowels should move at least once every 24 hours or so. Chronic constipation can be an indication of several health problems and can also create them. Do you experience excessive burning or wind? Do you feel bloated after meals? This can be an indication of an over-acidic stomach. See pages 57 to 7 or other digestive disturbance or stress. Your urine should be a clear, pale yellow. If it is a stronger yellow or dark, you are probably not drinking enough fluid. Alcohol intake. Recommendations for maximum alcohol intake for a woman vary between 14 and 21 units a week. People often kid themselves that one drink is equals to 1 unit, but this is not so. One bar measure of average wine is equals to 1.5 units. Home measures are open 2 units. One bar measure 25 ml of spirits or 45 wines is equals to 1 unit. Home measures are open 2 or 3 units. One half pint cider of ledger is equal to 1 unit. The high number of units in cocktail is often overlooked if their alcoholic content is masked by cream or fruit. It is not advisable to drink alcohol while you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant. Remember that alcohol is also high in calories. So if you are trying to lose weight, see part 3, chapter 7, weight control, then you should also watch what you drink. Light spirits like gin and vodka and champagne and white wine are lower in calories than beer, red wine, fortified wines, which is in addition to their calorific content, are also more likely to cause digestive problems. So, no talaga sa alcohol pala. In a continuation with the digestion, does your urine smell strongly? This may indicate an excess of vitamins, particularly B or protein. Do you have a burning sensation as you pass urine? This may be a sign of cystitis, or you may not be drinking enough water, or your diet may be too highly spiced or acidic. Cup your hands over your mouth and nose. Breath out deeply through your mouth and then breath in your nose. A smell like nail polish is caused by excess yeast and preventing alcohol in the stomach. See pages 58 and 9. An ammoniacal smell like bad eggs indicates putrefaction. It could be caused by excess protein, failure to digest properly, or from problem gums. Heart and lungs. Blood pressure. High blood pressure can be related to a number of health problems, including rheumatoid arthritis and living in a state of heightened stress, and it can increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, thrombosis, and other health threats. The heart is basically a pump. A blood pressure is given as two figures: systolic, higher, and diastolic, lower, which are the some 15. Low blood pressure. The heart is basically a pump. A blood pressure is given as two figures: systolic higher and a diastolic lower, which are the different readings as the heart contracts and relaxes. When you are at rest, your blood pressure level should be between 120 over 70 and 135 over 85. Although blood pressure tends to rise with age and up to 150 to over 90 can be considered normal if you are over 60. Mm, 120 over 70 and 135 over 85. Pero kung ano na, over 60 na pwedeng 150 over 90. A diastolic pressure of below 60 or above 90 is outside the normal range at any age. Have your blood pressure checked regularly. You can do this at home yourself, although it is not always easy to get an accurate reading from meters sold to the public or go to a drop-in clinic or pharmacy that offers the facility. Many surgeries will check your blood pressure as a matter of course, whatever you might be visiting for, in order to be alerted by telltale changes. Pulse. How fast your heart beats is another indication of how hard it is having to work. When at rest, around 60 to 75 beats per minute is normal. If you are very fit in maybe slower than this, as the heart along with other muscles becomes more efficient with regular exercise. When at rest, around 60 to 75. If you are very fit, it may be slower than this as the heart, along with other muscles, becomes more efficient with regular exercise. Try checking your pulse before you start an exercise period and then immediately afterwards when it will have speeded up from the demands you have placed on your body. And then every 5 minutes or so as your body relaxes to see how quickly your pulse returns to normal. To measure your pulse, use a watch that counts seconds. Place three fingers at one hand across the inner wrist of the other hand. Use a watch that counts seconds. Place three fingers at one hand across the inner, just below the base of the thumb. Ensure you can feel your pulse clearly. If it is over 80 when you are relaxed and rested or you discern any irregularity, go and get it checked by a health professional. Breathing. Put your hand on top of your abdomen and check your breathing normally. It's easy to pant or hold your breath when you make yourself conscious of your breathing. Time your in breath for a minute. If the rate is much above 16 per minute, you are hyperventilating. If the rate is much above 16 per minute, you are hyperventilating. This could be a nervous reaction. Test yourself several times, or it could mean that excess abdominal gas is lifting the diaphragm and not leaving you enough room to breathe deeply. It may also indicate a heart or lung problem. Energy levels, as well as using up our energy supply in the obvious way with a physical activity, we also use up a surprising amount simply running our internal system. Thinking and digesting both consume a lot of energy and with worry or tension. Energy check. When you wake in the morning, do you feel refreshed and ready to greet the day? Do you still feel sluggish even after you have showered and dressed? By mid-afternoon, do you still feel energetic or do you feel that typical after lunch lethargy hitting you? Thus, a reasonable but not highly strenuous amount of exercise, say half an hour's breastwork or swim or a dance class, leave you feeling invigorated or exhausted? How many hours a night do you usually sleep? Do you suffer from broken or interrupted sleep more than a couple of times a week? Has your sleep pattern changed recently? Lack of energy is like a power burnout. If our energy is low, then everything burns more dimly. Feeling tired after a full day is natural, but regular exhaustions, especially if you are not doing much, suggest one or more of the following. You are not getting enough fuel, too little food or too little of the right sort of food, or trouble with absorbing the goodness from what you are eating. Your energy is being zapped by nervous tension. Your body is having to draw on more energy than usual to process food or repair itself, which is why most forms of illness leave you feeling listless and with no get up and go. Poor sleep or lack of sleep is not giving your body a chance to recharge its energy reserves. Sleep, the restorative. There is no hard and fast rule about how much sleep we need. In each individual is different. Many elderly people find they need less sleep than they did when they were younger, perhaps because they are expecting less energy. But less than 4 hours sleep a night on a regular basis is not conducive to good health, and most people function best if they get 6 or 7 hours of refreshing sleep at least 3 or 4 nights a week. If you are ill, then long hours of sleep are a great part of the healing process, and teenagers benefit from more sleep than average. Growing in the demands of studying and exams take their toll, as well as the inevitable late nights. But otherwise, feeling you need, say, 10 hours or more or sleep right may indicate a problem such as depression or chronic fatigue. Sleep doesn't necessarily have to be taken all at one go. A half hour siesta after lunch is very energizing, see page 250. And if you are breastfeeding or looking after very young children, you should take every chance you can to give yourself some restorative sleep. Mm. Sila? Yan na ah. Thank you. Thank you. Ha? Ah, okay. 5 man to, no? Ang iyong kwarta kay 15. Thank you. Skin, hair, and nails. Skin. Is your skin usually dry? This may cause by washing away natural oils or by a dietary deficiency. Are you bathing in over hot water, thereby removing too much of the skin's natural lubrication? Might the soap or skin cleanser you're using be too harsh, or do you scrub too firstly with a loofah? How much oil are you consuming in your diet? If sufficient, perhaps your liver is not digesting it properly. Oil needs to be balanced, not too much or too little. A maximum of 4 tablespoons of olive oil in cooking per day is a useful rule of thumb. 4. 4 tablespoons of olive oil in cooking per day is a useful rule of thumb. Do you also suffer from heartburn or indigestion? High stomach acid can also result in dry skin. If none of this seems to provide the answer, it could be a vitamin deficiency. Try the ancient practice of putting mustard oil under your toenails and massage it into your palms and the soles of your feet. Goodness knows how your body distributes it, but it really does help to alleviate dryness in those areas. Do you suffer from an over oily or greasy skin? This occurs when the sebaceous glands in the skin are working overtime to eliminate fat soluble toxins. This can be because of an excess that needs to be disposed of, or because, for example, constipation is preventing elimination by other means. Overexcited sebaceous glands can also upset the uppermost layer of skin, causing it to become itchy or scaly or over oily. Check also for any of the following signs. Red nose, not from cold weather, an allergy, or a cold, an indicator of too much yeast in your system or too much alcohol. Itchy skin can be due to excessive garlic or salt or to citric or acidic foods such as vinegar or pineapple. Darker pigment patches are on face, particularly noticeable after exposure to the sun. This is closma, Leuasma. Soreness at the corner of the mouth, a possible vitamin deficiency, particularly of vitamins A and B. Quantities of Lewis white spots on arms, legs, and body indicates high stomach acid and hyperacidity on the pancreas. Eating too much too fast can lead to these marks. Brownish patches on the cheeks, chronic anemia, or liver malfunction. Hair. Your hair, like your skin, is a reflective of inner health. If you are ill or chronically below par or stressed, this shows in dull, out of condition hair. Check also for the following. A sudden increase in hair loss. This could indicate a nutritional deficiency, a hormonal imbalance, stress or trauma, low blood pressure or other restriction that means the scalp is not getting as much oxygenated blood as it should. Thinning hair is also common in older women. See pages 289 and 90. Hair falling out in patches. This could be alopecia, a fungal infection, or autoimmune problem. Dandruff or flaking scalp, sebaceous glands working overtime. Dry, itchy scalp not caused by dandruff may be due to zinc deficiency. Diagnostic hair testing is a good indicator of any past deficiency of minerals but doesn't necessarily reflect your current state of health. Nails. Nails take about 4 months to grow from the base to the top, so they provide a history of your recent state of health. Study your nails periodically to see what they tell you. Horis- Horizontal ridge or indentation, an interruption in the nail's growth, reflecting an interruption in your health. where it of course indicates how long ago it was, so halfway up your nails would be about 2 months ago. A series of such bonds. Someone. Wa kapi ani. Hala ah. Horizontal ridge or indentation, an interruption in the nail's growth, reflecting an interruption in your health, where it of course indicates how long ago it was. So halfway up your nail would be about 2 months ago. A series of such bands would indicate a long period of recurrent problem that may still be ongoing. White patches, a mineral deficiency, though not necessarily of calcium, as it commonly believed zinc is more likely. Yung mga ano, maputi-puti. Sinasabi natin pag na umabot na sa dulo, maano na yung pera. Hindi ko daw. Iba yung ano yun. Mali yun na ano, pag-iisip. Vertical streaks, a sign of ongoing chronic diseases. Vertical. Chronic disease. Hmm. Eyes. Looking carefully at your eyes can help you gauge the state of your health. Tenseness will slightly shrivel the small blood vessels in the sclera, the white portion. A long period of stress, which may include sleeplessness or an overload of toxins in the system will cause these blood vessels to burst. If this has happened recently, the eyes will appear bloodshot. If the situation continues, the iron in the blood will turn the white of the eye yellow brown, just like a scab on your skin. Definitely time you took remedial action. Tongue. An experienced physician can diagnose various conditions of the body by inspecting the tongue, including anemia, dehydration, presence of gut yeast or fungus, constipation, acidity, liver malfunction, and stomach ulcers. Here are some signs you can look for. Is it very at the back? This indicates excessive acid or that you are not evacuating toxins well enough, perhaps because of constipation. Does it have a smooth, narrow red band bound? Does it have a smooth, narrow red band around the edge? Another sign of excess acidity. Any small ulcerations or cracks, particularly in the middle. This may mean your liver is sluggish or you have excess yeast in the gut. Is the tip redness? You are eating too many carbohydrates. Does it took does it look slightly shriveled and shiny? You are not drinking enough water. Are there impressions of the teeth either side? Gastric upset can expand your tongue so much that it presses against the side of the teeth. Health through the years. As Part 3 explains in detail, your age is a key factor in identifying particular areas of concern. In addition to the general monitoring of your health, there are things you should be especially aware at different stage of in your life. If you are in your teens or 20s, when considering methods of contraception, find out about the pros and cons of each. See page 132 to 7. Don't feel obliged to stick with the first method you are recommended or the one your friend finds best. Chlamydia is an increasing worry about young women as it so often goes undetected. See page 139. It is never too young to start protecting your skin against damage and premature aging, not only from the sun but the environment in general, and your bones against osteoporosis. Anorexia hits teenage girls more than anyone else. Be alert to any early signs of it in anyone vulnerable and close to you, such as a daughter or young sister. See pages 258 to 61. Ensure you get enough sleep, particularly in your early teens. You are still growing, and intensive studying is a big drain on your energy. If you are a young man, if you are a young mother, sleep deprivation can lead to real health problems. If you are in your 30s or 40s, once a month check your breast for any changes or lumps. See page 198. Have a regular cervical smear or vaginal checkup, usually about every 1 to 3 years, to detect any precancerous cell development. Demands on your time and energy will probably never be higher, especially if you are working mother. Guard against becoming run down as this will make you vulnerable to health problems. Review any method of contraception you are using to ensure it is the most suitable for you and your circumstances. Increasingly, women are waiting until their 30s or even 40s to have children, but fertility starts to decline after about the age of 35. If you are in your 50s, some women welcome the menopause and others dread it, but there is much you can do to alleviate the symptoms. See page 3, chapter 11, Aging Gracefully. Weight gain can be a problem in your 40s and 50s when it never was before. This may be linked to a change in lifestyle or slowing metabolism, or may be hormonal in origin. A sensible exercise regime will help keep weight in check and keep bones strong against osteoporosis. Your hair and skin are both likely to be drier and less resilient than a decade ago, so ensure you are using the most appropriate moisturizers and shampoos. Continue monthly check Continue monthly breast checks and take advantage of mammogram checks, usually every 3 years. If you are in your 60s or over, review your eating habits. Both women and men in their 60s find their digestion becomes more sluggish and less tolerant of certain foods. Having smaller meals, especially in the evening, and avoiding the baddest described on page 305, often help avoid the digestive problems from which so many older people suffer. Chronic constipation, for example, is not only uncomfortable but injurious to bones and joints as it impairs calcium absorption. Keep an eye on your weight. You should never gain a lot nor lose a lot. Being too fat puts pressure on your joints and makes you less mobile, while being too skinny can mean you feel the cold more and are more vulnerable to osteoporosis. Regular exercise such as yoga or tai chi will help keep you supple without straining muscles and joints. Life balance. You should candidly review the balance between four key areas in your life. Ha? Saman? Naa. So, unsa? Pila ni? Yara ah. Dos. Life balance. You should candidly review the balance between four key areas in your life: exercise, stress, relaxation, and moderation. Exercise. How regularly do you exercise? Is it giving you a good workout without straining you? If you suffer from cramps, you are probably overdoing it. Does an exercise session leave you feeling invigorated and feeling good or totally exhausted? Does the exercise you get make you sleep better at night? Relaxation. When did you last have a holiday? Are your holidays very different from your everyday life or much the same in a different location? How often do you have a massage? How often do you sit down to listen to a music, especially though your attention to it, not just having the radio on while you're ironing, getting supper, or writing a report? Or do you something quietly creative such as painting, modeling, or reading for pleasure? Do you switch off when you get home from work, or do you bring work or worry about work home with you? Stress. Would you describe your life as highly stressed? This is not the same as busy, but a life that leaves you frequently on constantly feeling you are under unwelcome pressure or not coping or straining to keep up appearances. How well do you cope with decision making? Do you thrive or conflict or are you upset by it? How do you cope with unexpected charge? No, mali. How do you cope with unexpected change? When did you last cry with laughter? Moderation. Are there certain areas of your life that dominate? Do people call you a workaholic? Do you have a life independent of your partner or children? When did you last learn or do something quite new and different? We're done with the part 1. So, sa mga mga questions dito, i-review ko to siya kasi gusto ko din maano yung mga check ko din yung mga nails, yung hair ko. So try to check din sa mga pinamention dun na mga questions para in the next chapter 2 dito sa part 2 ng optimum health. Maano natin kasi yung next is ito na eh. So, yung lifestyle program. So, tomorrow ko na siya babasahin para check din natin muna yung mga questions. And that's all for today. Have a nice day, everyone. God bless. Bye bye.